Hey everyone, welcome to Get Real with a very impromptu episode going off of some current events in the sobriety community, especially right here in New York.
Yeah.
So we heard your story and wanted to have you on and tell us really what happened.
Yeah. It's crazy, life can switch in like overnight, So I was let me just before I go into the story, before we even get there, mistakes happen. There's human error that occurs. It was traumatic at the time. Spoke to the owner, awfully nice guy, really great. We had a general understanding, confirmed no one was fired. Everyone still has their jobs. Any reviews in question, and you can look yourself, are not there. So I think, I just would like this to be a positive thing of just more awareness around alcohol, being served to people who don't want it, or, just being more careful around food allergies, shellfish. I know that's like crazy.
Religion even.
Yeah, religion, exactly. Yeah. Just general allergies and just being more careful. But flip side of the coin, I understand how crazy a New York City kitchen can be. Like that's chaos. So I totally get it, but we're good and just want this to be positive. So essentially I went to a bar in the East Village and I was meeting with some friends, and I generally get something canned or I get a water just to be safe. I've been sober for 16 months. And I was with like 5 of my friends, and I always make a point to go away from them, because one, I don't want them to be uncomfortable that I'm just not drinking with them, because they'll be like, oh, come on, get a drink. No, so I went to the waitress and confirmed, hey, I would like, I'd like this drink. It was a lemon tea. I think it was the first or second thing on the menu. I'd like this non-alcoholic. She's like, all right, great. Puts it in. I confirm with the bartender, hey, the drink she's putting in, make sure it's non-alcoholic. Comes out by confirming, hey, this is non-alcoholic. Yeah, we're good. So I take a sip of it, and then I spit it out. I'm like, I think there might be alcohol in that,
Yeah. But you weren't sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I give it to my friend on the left, and I was surprised that he tried it, because I just fucking spit in the drink.
Side note.
Yeah. And he tried. He's like, nah, I think you're he's like, nah, you're good. I'm like, okay. And drank a good amount of it, and then immediately when the actually hit my stomach, I'm like, I don't feel good about this. And then she came back over. You sure? I think that was number 5. Yeah, 99% positive. Went to the guy to the right. No, I don't think so. Went to the guy by the window, looks at it. He's like, yeah, I can see it right there. I'm like, damn. Brought me a sandwich, got it comped, got a new mint lemonade. All's good. Left early, and it just hit me a lot harder than I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How did it make you feel in the moment?
Just violated, it's something I worked so hard to get. I gave up so much to get to that point of not drinking, and it's just I cut off a lot of relationship, cut off a lot of just spaces in general, people. And it's just something I worked so hard to get. It was tough to have that pulled away. But speaking with a lot of people, they're like, "Yo, your sobriety wasn't robbed. It was it wasn't planned by any means. It was honest mistake, and it made me feel a lot better."
Yeah, it definitely was not robbed. It was a mistake. You didn't mean to drink it.
Right.
So in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't robbed. But yeah, I think it's important to bring up that the whole point of this was to bring awareness to realize that there are people that don't want to have alcohol, that can't have alcohol.
Right.
And I think what you had initially said, you were more upset with their response in the moment. Now everything's all good. You talk to the manager, things are great.
And but their response mistake.
Back in the moment.
Yeah, and look, I guess I could have been more. They essentially were like, "Oh, he's chill with it because he's not freaking out." But I was just in my own head, I'm like, "I just need to get out of here. So they didn't apologize once, super briefly. They just didn't think it was a big deal. So I'm, can take some hits, and they just thought I didn't think it was a big deal, but inside I was dying. So I just left early. So
you said at one point they kind of made a joke about it.
No, they didn't make a joke. What? Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay, that one hit me. yeah, no, I was like, oh, I've been sober for like 16 months. And she's like, oh, I'm sober too. I'm like, okay, like, let me like extend the olive branch. Maybe,
Yeah.
I'm like, for how long? She's like, a week. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah, but that she wasn't actually sober. She was just...
That's all I got out of her. I didn't
with you.
speak any further. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh man, wow. So you were, so essentially it was a Sunday. I think it was a Sunday. Maybe it was a Saturday. Saturday, Sunday. So last week you were drinking.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we both talked about it. We both surfed before.
Yeah.
Human error can happen
Yeah.
and mistakes happen. I've
Right.
made a million mistakes serving, a
Yeah.
million mistakes. But I think it's more so the apology.
Yeah.
Are you genuinely going to apologize and take ownership for your mistakes? Because I've made a lot of mistakes when I was serving.
Oh my God.
And had to take ownership for it.
Yeah.
And it's hard in the moment sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think just extending some real life empathy too, if you make a mistake, where you just try to understand the situation and you empathize with them and you apologize and do something a little extra and make sure they know that you, at the end of the day, beyond being that server or bartender, that you're a human being trying to do your job and that you made a mistake.
Right.
I think just having that conversation maybe would have made things a little better in that moment.
Yeah. I think if the conversation happened quicker, I think it would be a different scenario. But again, like I said, spoke to the owner at this point. He's a great person. He was very sympathetic, apologized profusely. Waitresses were very upset. I haven't spoken to them. No one lost their job. It's back to business as usual, and I'm ready to move on.
Yeah. And I think it's a point of education too, where there's people in the city, I was saying earlier, that this is their job to come into restaurants, introduce them to mocktails. There's so many non-alcoholic liquor brands, beer, wine, champagne, in-can cocktails, mocktails rather. And there's people, even Rachel from at Sober in Central Park, she goes to restaurants and works with restaurants and will educate, and help them integrate it and educate teams on it and make sure that they just realize that not everyone drinks for a variety of different reasons. Again, religion, pregnancy, whether they're an alcoholic or just practicing sobriety. There's ways to have everyone enjoy your establishment. I think too, I'm all about freedom of business. If a business is like, we don't want anyone sober in here, I honestly think as an alcoholic, fine. I love freedom of business. Like, say whatever you want. If you don't want sober people in here, just make it like abundantly clear. We don't have to go to like, I'm not gonna be storming in like, I need to go to this single restaurant. Like, no, we don't. We just won't go there.
That's a great point, because they were like a lot of like the people who reached out, they're like what, like, do you want them to be more inclusive? I'm like, no, there doesn't need to be a sober section in the bar. Well, I think if they're trying to be inclusive, that would certainly be nice. But if they're not, and they're not going for that, that's totally fine as well. We don't need to go to every single I think you said it perfect. Like, introducing those hybrid people who can bring those types of beverages, so everyone can enjoy the establishment, and the place makes more money. Exactly. As a larger demographic.
Exactly. So. And then we know what places, that we're welcome at, that they're looking for the sober community to support their business, and the ones that aren't, which is totally fine. We just won't. But so what is happening now with everything? What are the updates?
It's so weird. That's the internet. You're on one side or the other. It's so polarizing. Like, I was telling you, I was like walking down the street, and there was like one, like an older gentleman who, like, I was like walking, and it was like a day after, and he sort of motioned me. I'm like, yo, what's up? And he like stood up, and he like caught his breath, and he like walked over, and he's like, hey, like, I want to let you know, like, I love your message. That happened to me with Shellfish. I had to be like taken out of like a restaurant on a stretcher. Like, I'm so happy you said that. I get what you're trying to do. Just like awareness. I'm like, yeah, that's it. So, and he like gave me a hug, and like, when he like hugged me, like, there's like the quick hug, and there's the hug, like they really like grab you. Like, damn, bro, you're like really getting in there. But I don't know. And like, to be completely real, I don't like go to a lot of restaurants. And there's like people tripping me, like, watch out in East Village. Like, it's like, dude, like, I've been, robbed, of my leg broken in half like 2 surgeries, 37 screws. You know, I've been evicted from apartments. It's like I'm not worried about like ghost accounts threatening me.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it
exactly.
is.
There's always going to be internet trolls.
Right, exactly.
And there's
Always.
always going to be people disagreeing with, you could say the sky is blue. There's going to be people on the internet chirping and saying their own opinion. And that's fine. You can have your own opinion. But I think if you don't have something nice to say, why? It's the fact, I think I love different opinions. If you have a different opinion, go for it. Comment it.
Yeah.
But it's the people that are genuinely mean, that it's just straight up bullying what they're doing, and there's a massive difference, and I welcome different opinions for everything I do. I know that having a stance on something, it's just natural that there's going to be people with opposite stances, and that's totally fine. But you just have to be confident in your own choices and not let that shake you. But then the bullying comments are just completely unnecessary. I mean, it's like going to someone who does drink and belittling them. There's no reason for it anywhere with anything.
If they're seeing this and you're commenting on my TikTok, I generally speaking do not read my comments, because there's a lot of user 6647s that say some mean stuff, and like I'm a human, you know, I read that, like it's not like fun. So I just have I hire a virtual assistant to go through all my comments, like every single comment, to make sure it hits in the algorithm. And then they'll note, they're like, hey, this person said this, and like if it's really a big deal and it's getting a lot of traffic, like I'll respond. But generally speaking, they will filter them out first and like just tell me like the 3 or 4 comments to respond to. Like as of right now, I don't have TikTok or Instagram even downloaded on my phone. I check it from my desktop. I'll like post and like I'll run, because like you can just spend all day in the comments, you know.
I think that's healthy too, because you don't want to go down the rabbit hole of reading that stuff.
Are you kidding me?
Not,
No,
it's not good for anybody.
No, the general rule I follow is if someone doesn't know who I am, if it's like a celebrity, it's like then I can't really like voice an opinion on them, you know? And like, that's the flip side of the coin. If someone is like blowing me up and I have no idea who they are, I don't even have a mutual friend with them, or it's a ghost account, I don't read it. I don't answer it ever. Now, if it's someone I personally know and it happens, I'm like, oh damn, like let me really address this. Like this person's an important person in my life. Let me talk to them. But like if it's a ghost account or someone I purely do not know, like so be it. I can take a few arrows in the back.
That would be pretty bizarre, though, honestly, if someone that's actually close to you is commenting on your TikTok instead of just shooting you a text. Like,
oh, no. I mean, let's be real, though. Like, there definitely are a lot of people that, like, you know, like, I saw someone said it's like, people like to see you doing good, but just not better than themselves. And I think it's like a lot of people, honestly, probably like people like from where I'm from, like my hometown. It's like, it's tough for them to accept that we come from the same place and I'm here. But at the same time, there's like random people you meet on the internet and they're like the biggest cheerleader because you come from a different area. So, the internet's been crazy this week.
I think David Goggins said it. That no one commenting negative things are ever doing better than you. Because I mean, to sit there and take the time out of your day to bring someone down or post negativity, are they really doing that much with their life? And if they are, honestly, maybe that rule doesn't always hold true, but if they are, I think it really takes away from someone's character to sit there and be mean to somebody. But again, different opinion, welcomed. Just straight up bully, unnecessary. Yeah,
I think a wise man once said, every rumor you've heard about me is true and legendary. So, I can't remember who said that, but somebody in pop culture.
Somebody wise, I'm sure. So, what's the takeaway? What's the message you want to get out there after all of this?
So, what's the takeaway? Sure. So, for me personally, and you're not going to like this, if I am to go to a bar, which isn't that often, I just can't take that 1% risk of human error. So get a canned drink, get a water, right? I can live with that. What else? I think just getting the message out of just being more careful with alcohol because it affects people differently, food allergies, things of that nature. And I'm super happy I had a conversation with management because they're great. You know, we had, a long conversation about everything that happened. Very sympathetic, and I'm happy this doesn't seem to be negatively affecting them. And they've been there for a very long time, and they're established in the neighborhood, and they'll continue to thrive.
And I have a respectful differing opinion.
Let's hear it.
Where I feel like you shouldn't completely avoid mocktails moving forward. Well, not you shouldn't. I won't be.
Yeah, you don't. They're not a huge part of my life.
Yeah,
you know?
I won't be avoiding mocktails. And I just think that establishments should look into options and see if it's something that if they don't have, that how they can implement it and where they want to, how many they want to have, how to integrate it into the menu, educate their staff.
Right.
There's ways to progress in this. And if you don't want to, that's fine too.
Yeah. Word.